Now, Cuba had been one of our friends again during the Obama administration, and thanks to Rubio and others, is on the outskirts again. But Cuba's not the threat that it was back in the day. It's a historical one, especially to people like Rubio, whose parents obviously had to flee Cuba, and it's still really, really meaningful to people, but far less than it ever has been. I mean, that was 60 years, almost 70 years ago that Castro came into power. The vast, we're talking, we're down, what, 2, 3 generations now, almost on some levels. But the other countries, Mexico's an ally, Greenland/Denmark, a NATO ally.
Yeah.
Colombia, I'm not sure what Colombia's neutral at the moment. I'm trying to think how best to describe Colombia nowadays.
We have at least we have an ambassador there. We don't have an ambassador in Venezuela. In fact, my sources,
it's like 2019 or so, I think.
My sources in Colombia, and I have a few still there, say, look, we don't know shit what's going on in Venezuela, and we're worried here. So I as much as they say they're aligned with us, they're scared shitless.
But we have I'm not sure, I'm not aware of any other pending publicly known indictments against world leaders
that they could use as pretense to go after the
or even in Noriega's case, there was a Marine who was killed. We used that as a pretense to go in, even though the operation had been planned for months and they were just waiting for something to happen. Colombia is not the Colombia of the 1980s and all the drugs and things that were going on. I'm sure they still have some issues with FARC and others.
They do.
But it's not what it used to be. I mean, if anything, we have greater problems, I think, with Mexico just by way of criminal activities coming across into the border.
You'd still have huge coca growing, I guess, plantations up in the hills. And I mean, Bogota is conducive to growing the coca plant, and we still have a great demand for cocaine. But to your point, it's not as violent as it was during the Escobar years.
Right. I'm not sure. I mean, you don't hear much discussion in Washington, D.C. about, that I know of Colombia.
No, we're too busy finding cocaine in the White House. There's oh, wait a minute, that was Biden. But
yes.
I did call. I'll confess, at that point in time, I just as a joke, I sent an email to Jen Psaki and said, "Hey, look, I left a small baggie in the White House. If you find it, will you hold on to it for me?" They didn't laugh. I don't know why, but but anyway. So, John, here we are. As Mark pointed out, there is no real impetus to do it, but that doesn't mean he won't. He'll find one, won't he? If he wants it.
Sure, they'll invent it. I mean, they could write an indictment for someone this morning and have another overnight operation by the time we wake up tomorrow morning. So I don't think writing up an indictment, I mean, getting a conviction is another thing, but if they wanted to invent or create, or if there are legitimate charges or somewhat legitimate charges, they could write an indictment and get a mission package together and probably do that in a relatively short turnaround. I think Mexico's hard for a lot of reasons, including Sheinbaum has tried to play ball with Trump. She's tried to play nice. She was, I believe, at the Kennedy Center for the FIFA event recently. So there's a lot of trade that goes on with Mexico. There's a huge amount of cross-border legitimate trade of very important goods that would be at risk. And let's not forget, the Mexican military, it's there, but the cartels have a ton of firepower. And you might have to shoot your way out and deal with cartels who might not be as
bother Don.
I don't think Don wants images of downed American helicopters with burning American troops inside. I don't think he wants that on his resume. That leaves Colombia and Cuba.